Welcome to my channel. You're watching KNV Monsters, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Vital Bracelet BE D3 case mod. There's a couple things that I would like to talk about with this case mod here. One of the first things that I do want to mention is that this 3D print part, which is the back part here, came with a belt clip on the back right here. But one thing I noticed that the belt clip was getting in the way of the NFC reader right here, so it was very hard for me to get a good connection from the phone to the Vital Bracelet whenever I'm transferring monsters to and from the app. So I ended up just getting rid of the belt clip and sanding it down to make a smooth surface. And what I actually did here was I drilled some holes on the top, basically the top of the 3D print here, to connect a keychain, which I think feels a lot better, especially because you could just attach this to your keys or your pants or whatever, and it just feels a lot better when it's like hanging this way out of your pocket or something, as opposed to on your belt. Also too, it does generate more movement for the step counter. And so that's one thing I do want to mention about the case in general, is I don't really like the belt clip. I prefer a keychain type look, just like this. After using the D3 mod case, I do really enjoy it. It feels like an actual digivice. You know, I can hold it in my hand. You know, I can attach it to my keys and just forget about it and go on throughout my day. One thing to note is that if you have like a job, for instance, where you're at a desk all day long like me, like I'm pretty much sitting down all day long, and so if I'm sitting down and my monster is not sleeping, or if it's just awake like this, then it will get sad and the vital points will start to drop. So just keep that in mind. If you have a job, or if you're very active a lot, keeping this on your keychain will definitely function like the normal bracelet, you know, where you have it on your hand and it's constantly being moved. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, is that this, although the reflective tape is allowing, you know, the heart rate sensor to read a pulse, if you don't move this a lot, or not every 1 to 3 minutes or something like that, then the vital points will start dropping. One thing that I want this video to be is, if you're not sure about whether you want to modify your BE or not, I'm really hoping that this video would give you some insight as to whether you want to go through with it or not. I feel like this was definitely a really fun project. I feel like the device is good in this case. The only thing that I would probably not like best about this is detaching the screen from the Vital Bracelet casing. So when you take it out, the screen is actually stuck onto a casing within the Vital Bracelet, and so prying it off is a little dangerous. It could destroy the device if you're not careful, if you do it wrong. So that's pretty much the only thing that I don't really like about the device, is that you really have to take apart the bracelet more than other case mods in general. Another thing I want to note is this thing right here can be a little annoying sometimes. This does get caught a lot on things whenever, you know, I'm moving it around, or it'll get caught in my pocket. It is very fragile too, so it's more likely to break if you put enough force on it. I believe there is a remix of the antenna on Thingiverse, which I will post a link in the description down below for you guys to see as well. And it's a lot short. It's like half the height of this, and it's a lot you know, more sleek in terms of, I don't know, aerodynamics. It's basically just a lot more invisible, if you could understand that term. It doesn't get in the way as much. It's a lot shorter, so I'm thinking about ordering that and then replacing this antenna with the remix version. Another thing that I had to do is getting this speaker to stay in the little slot right here in the 3D print is really difficult. When you shake the device a lot, it'll fall out, And so you'd have to open it up from the back again and then replace it. So what I did is I just took some of the heat resistant tape and I just basically taped it to the case itself. So it holds it in place now, and if you listen here you can hear the sound pretty clearly. Yeah, so the sound is a little diminished because it is not as firmly fitted to the case as it is in the original Vital Bracelet case, so that's something that you will have to consider as well if you're thinking about modding your bracelet. But I don't mind. It's actually quieter now, which makes it a lot more easier to use. Like if I'm at work and I just want to check it real quick, it doesn't make a super loud sound whenever I'm cycling through or anything. Another thing to note is, does it actually work? Whenever you're doing trainings or anything like that. I just kind of want to show you exactly what it looks like when it's training. So in my opinion, training is a lot easier. So it is just a device now, so you can just shake it like this. You could just grab it from the keychain and literally just let it swing for a little bit. And the bracelet does read the movement pretty well. So as you can see right here, we've got 2 pp out of that one workout, which is basically the best amount you can get from a squat workout. It's either 1 or 2, and it generally, if you I think it's a little bit randomized, to be honest, the workouts in general, but for the most part, if you move it enough, it will get the highest amount. So whenever you're training, if you're using the gold item, to get ×3, I think, or ×2 on all of your workouts, this is definitely still a good way to train. You could literally just turn on the training and then go for a walk and have it dangling from your keys or your pocket or your belt loop, and it'll register the training pretty well. So that is one thing that I do like about this, is that I feel like it's a lot easier. Instead of just like waving around your hand with the bracelet or taking it off and waving it around, you could actually just go about your day and do the workouts pretty easily. So that's one thing I do like about the case mod. Another thing to consider is that when you are taking it out of the bracelet, you are pretty much taking away the waterproof resistance that, well, the very little water resistance proof that the bracelet does have, and you're pretty much, this device is highly susceptible to water damage because there is no sealant around on the sides. There's no sealant where the charge port is. There's no sealant right here where the BEM card goes, and so there's no sealant right here on the screen. Now I could, if I really wanted to, get some kind of sealant for the device and just seal it up all around, but that would mean that taking it apart is going to be a lot harder to do because it'll stick more. It'll kind of make the device a little less functional. If you seal up the buttons here, they won't really click well. And then obviously this is also an issue too, because water can easily sip through the hole on top right here where I put the keychain in. So this definitely, one thing to look out for is that this device is a lot more susceptible to water damage, and so this device anywhere near water is a big no-no. It will be destroyed if you get it wet. So that is another thing to consider if you are thinking about getting the case mod. At least with the bracelet, you have somewhat of a little bit of water resistance. You know, so if it gets wet for just a little bit, the bracelet is a lot better in terms of water resistance when it comes to this device. So that's just one thing to consider as well if you are thinking about getting this. This thing right here is just wide open as well. There's just no protection from water right here. It'll just seep in through and get over everything pretty much. So keep that in mind. regarding the NFC battle, it registers pretty well. So again, like I was saying, the NFC reader is on the back now, and so bringing it up to the phone, especially without the belt clip here, it is definitely pretty easy to get this to register on your phone. And I'll kind of give you an example right now. My phone is recording, so I'm just gonna see if I can trigger a battle. Okay, yeah, it doesn't, for some reason my phone doesn't trigger whenever it's recording, so that's totally fine. But it does register pretty well. This when there's nothing right here, this is definitely easy to get the the transfers to and from the bracelet to the app. And whenever the belt clip was on it, I really did not like that, because sometimes, very few times, would it actually work, and I would have to just do it over and over again until it actually transferred the Digimon back to the bracelet, which was super annoying. So I just decided to get rid of it in total. Overall, the design of the case mod is really awesome. I mean, it just looks freaking cool when you have a D3 hanging from your pocket like this, and like you're walking around, you're training up your Digimon, and it's just there with you on the side of your pocket. It's really cool to have it as a bracelet as well. But again, like, if you're not really keen or to wearing the bracelet, or if you have other watches already that you want to wear, this is definitely a good option to do, because it just looks really nice. It looks clean, especially with the clear color. I definitely enjoy this case mod a lot. The only thing that I don't really like is how big it is. Now, I understand it is a D3, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than normal, but the normal, if I could just get an example here. For instance, this is the Vital Hero. Now, it's not the same as the B3, but I mean, look at the size comparison. Like, this little square compared to this huge device here. So if you're not really interested in having a huge device hanging from your side, there are other options as well, which I will be doing videos on for the DMOG BE case mod, which in my opinion I think is a lot better than this. But this is a pretty cool design overall. I'm still using it to this day, ever since I changed it out, and so I don't really want to take it out unless I get something else that I want to change it into. So overall, I do want to go over the pros and cons, which I will do here on screen. The pros for this device: it actually works, especially if you put the white reflective tape on the heart rate sensor and you have everything soldered on correctly. The device works well. There's nothing really wrong with it. It registers steps and it registers heart rate, and overall it just functions normally. Another pro would be that it looks nice. It looks sleek, despite the antenna being super huge. I definitely do want to change that, but overall it looks like an actual D3 Digivice that I have on me, and I like that feeling of having the device just hanging off the side, and it goes with me wherever I go. And I can also wear, like, an actual watch or a smartwatch if I wanted to, and still have my device on me without looking like I have a bunch of watches on. Another pro is I think the device is actually easier to get the workouts done, because it is so easy to swing from this keychain. Like, even that little bit of motion right there is registering steps, and whenever you're doing the workouts, you'll actually see how easy it is for it to register what's going on here. So I think in general, I think it's easier to get steps in, and also complete the workouts. A couple of the cons, as I mentioned earlier, there is no waterproof for this device. It's extremely susceptible to water damage, which is definitely a huge con in my opinion. If it gets even a little wet, the device is not safe at all whatsoever. Another con is that you have to remove the entire screen from the Vital Bracelet BE bracket, which I don't like as well, because it is kind of it's super risky. You're more at risk of damaging the screen or severing one of the connections. You also have to remove the NFC reader from that part of the device as well, which is, I mean, you're pretty much just making the device, you know, not original anymore by doing so. So I don't really like that aspect, but when you do have it in, it does look pretty dang clean. I mean, that looks beautiful in my opinion, to be honest. And the other con here is, like I said, the antenna. It's a little bulky. There is another option to get it replaced to a smaller antenna. It's like half the size. It's more narrow, doesn't get caught on things as much, and so that's pretty much it. Everything else, the buttons work. The sound works. The automatic battle works. If you have the update downloaded, or the Cyanic mod. So overall, this device is pretty good in my opinion. I really like the way it looks. I like the way it functions. I like the way it feels in my hand. It feels like an actual Digivice, you know. Just besides the fact of the, you know, zero water resistance and the bulky look, or the bulky feel, I should say. That's probably just like the only two real downfalls that I see with this device in general. But overall, I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much my review on the D3 Mog. If you are thinking about getting this done to your device, you know, I really hope that this video kind of gives you some insight as to whether or not you want to move forward with it or not. If you've already used the BE to its limit, if your buttons are going bad, I think you pretty much either have to replace the switch buttons on the BE or just mod it in general. These buttons are a lot easier to replace. They function better, I think, than the original buttons on the BE. So if you just got your device and, you know, you want to use it for what it is as a bracelet for now, that's totally fine, do that. But whenever, you know, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm pretty much done raising, I kind of just want to have it for fun now, I think converting it to a mod case is a pretty good idea. I think it's a fun little project as well, and it's fairly cheap to do as well. The parts are not really expensive, and you just have to have like very little minor soldering skills. I just watched 1 or 2 soldering videos, and then I was like, okay, I can do this. So it wasn't too big of a crazy soldering project that I had to do in order to get this together. So yeah, I really hope that this video gives you some insight on whether or not you would like to modify your BE into a case mod. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you are interested in modifying your BE bracelet, and let me know, you know, where you are in that process. I'm actually interested. If you have any questions about the modifying process, I'm more than happy to answer them in the comments down below here. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for all the subscriptions lately. It is super awesome to see that people are finding these videos actually informational and useful. So I will be doing another case mod review on the D-Mog, so stay tuned for that. And I'll go ahead and let you know what my opinions are on that device. But yeah, thank you very much, y'all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.